What's up everybody, it's Bobby. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been looking forward to doing for quite a long time now. As I'm sure you probably noticed, I got a bunch of crap all over this table. Today I'm going to be going through my everyday carry or my EDC. So as long as I can remember, I've always been the guy who was getting made fun of for bringing too much stuff everywhere we went. I was the kid bringing a backpack to the party with just all my crap in it. I've always been super obsessive over the things that I'm carrying with me and kind of making sure that I have the most useful tools or the most streamlined kind of setup or just my favorite stuff in general that helps me on my day-to-day basis. Over the course of the past year, I realized that there was a whole community of people like me who are really obsessed with this kind of stuff on YouTube, and I started watching all of their videos and I really fell in love with it and found a whole bunch of really cool stuff that I really enjoy. So yeah, I decided to make my own version of it. I've been spending the last year kind of fine-tuning the different things that I like to carry with me. I kind of have a few different categories that I want to touch on, so this video might be on the longer side, but I'm going to speak about my stuff that I carry on me when I'm walking about or at work or doing whatever it is that I'm doing. Then I'm also going to speak about what's in my bag and what bag that I carry with me. And then I'll also have a few honorable mentions of things that I don't always carry with me, but that when I do, these are my go-to pieces of gear. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to be talking about the items that I carry on me every single day when I'm out in the world walking, around at work or going into a store. And the first thing I want to talk about is my phone, which is the iPhone 12 Pro. And I have the 256 gig model in the Pacific Blue colorway. I either carry it without any case on it at all, or I have the Apple Saddle Brown leather case on it, or the Nomad rugged case on it. Those are the two cases that I switch between all the time. So yeah, that's my phone of choice. Now, as for the watch, I use the Apple Watch Series 6 in the aluminum space gray colorway. As far as what band I use, it kind of depends on the day or what I'm doing, but I'd say for the most part I use the Milanese Loop. That's my favorite band that I use, either that or one of the Nomad leather bands that I'll have on it. I also use the sports band, whether it's just the black regular sports band or the Nike sports band whenever I'm on a run or something like that. But yeah, I'll have like a shot showing all the different watch bands that I typically use. I'm also thinking about making a video of just my Apple Watch bands and the ones I cycle through, so if that's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. Now, as for my wallet, there's kind of two that I alternate between. I'd say the first one would be the OpenSea Leather Topsider wallet. Super high quality. The reason I like this wallet is it's a front pocket wallet. It has enough spots for the cards that I use regularly, and if you have cash in it, when you fold it out, your bills are actually completely flat and extended out. You don't need to fold them up or do anything like that. There's also room in it for a pen, and I like to carry a pen on me too whenever I go, so this is kind of a nice way to consolidate the pen and the wallet in my carry into this one little unit. The pen that I'll put inside of it is this kind of like crimson and gold Fischer Space Pen Bullet. Super nice pen, very portable, especially when you kind of have it collapsed, and then you're also able to pop the cap off, and then you have like a full-size pen that doesn't feel weird or constricted when you're writing with it. Now, the other wallet that I've been using arguably more as of lately for one specific reason is going to be the Andar Slim Pilot. Unfortunately, they don't make this wallet anymore. I actually had to get it secondhand from someone, which I was honestly kind of fine with because it definitely has already built up some patina to it. But it's one of these kind of flicky wallets. So you pull the little trigger and it actually fans your cards up and you're able to just kind of pull the one that you were looking to use. Very fidgetable. I love doing this. It's just something that I'll kind of just sit and do occasionally if I'm waiting for something. It also has this strap on the back that I can put a couple extra cards in along with some cash. But the main reason that I've been using it as of lately is this front pocket. And the reason for that is because one, I can fit this little pry bar in it, which has just been a super useful tool for me. Whether I'm, scratching off codes on a gift card when I'm at work, or I need to cut something open, it's just a really easy portable little tool, along with like a bottle opener, and there's a whole bunch of different things. This is the Griffin pocket tool. I believe this is the original size. There's also a mini version that I'll have on my keys sometimes. But as far as like, you know, something that I carry with me all the time, I really like having this in here. And then the other thing, which is the main reason I've been using this wallet, is I can actually fit an Airtag inside this front little pocket. This other wallet that I carry, the OpenSea Topsider, doesn't allow me to fit an Airtag in it, whereas this one does, and it doesn't add that much bulk. So that's kind of why I've been going with this one as of lately. Now, as for my keys have kind of been the bane of my existence, trying to figure out a way to not have them be super bulky and annoying. I'd say the core setup of it is going to be this Keybar right here, which lets me kind of house all my different keys in it, and it easily lets you kind of fan them out. I got the deep pocket clip, you know, extension thing for it, as far as just clipping it on a belt, or if I have it in a pocket. I like it when it's clipped all the way down to the bottom, so I like that deep pocket clip. And then, you know, I got the key to my car. I have an Airtag in the saddle brown as well, with the saddle brown leather case. And then I have a gotcha, which for those of you who don't know what this is, it's basically a little device that hooks up to your phone, and if you're playing Pokemon Go, it lets you spin Pokestops in the background or throw Pokeballs or whatever you want to do. So it's just kind of like a little thing I always have on my keys. I'd say this is my main setup right here, so it's not super bulky. But the thing I add the most is going to be the Nomad rugged case with my AirPod Pros in it. These things, I use them all the time. I love the AirPod Pros. I'm a huge fan. I love Nomad's case for it, but my biggest issue with it is it didn't have some sort of key clip, so I had to get a little bit creative. There was this little tiny like lanyard loop spot on the side of the case, so I ordered one of those like phone keychain lanyard things on Amazon, along with these like mini, you know, carabiner clips, and I kind of jerry-rigged this little setup as far as being able to clip this onto my keys. My only issue with this though is sometimes if it's jingling around quite a bit, I get afraid that the case is going to pop open and my AirPods are going to fall out and I'm going to lose one. That's happened to me before in the past, so I kind of try to avoid that when I can. But as far as just convenience goes, that's kind of the setup for those. Now, as for the multi-tool, I usually put this multi-tool in the tiny little coin pocket in my right pocket, right above my right main pocket. The one I use is actually the Gerber Dime. I've tried out a bunch of these tiny little portable multi-tools, and as far as the one that I like the most, definitely is the Gerber Dime. I feel like the selection of tools that it has, I've legitimately used every single one of them, and I use at least one of them almost on a daily basis. This compared to like the Leatherman Squirt or like any of these other little tiny multi-tools, this one is for sure my favorite, especially with this bottle opener kind of thing on the outside. And the tweezers are super useful on this too. So this has kind of been my multi-tool, at least my on-body multi-tool of choice. Now for one of my favorite pieces, the pocket knife that I carry with me. I use this as a tool all the time to open boxes or cut threads on, you know, a piece of a shirt or just whatever it is I need to open boxes when I'm at work. I use this thing all the time. I use the Civivi Elementum, and this one is in the Damascus and carbon fiber finish. It's got a deep pocket clip. I put this little leather string so it's easier to pull out of my pocket. It is a little bit intimidating, so sometimes if I'm at work and I'm in front of a customer and I'm trying to open something, I won't pull this thing out, but it's got a really smooth action. Honestly, for the money, I feel like this is the best pocket knife you can get. So if you haven't heard of Civivi and you're in the market for one, I definitely recommend you check them out. Now, as far as my pen of choice, if I'm not doing the first wallet setup I talked about with the Fischer bullet pen, I usually carry this like solid brass fountain pen. I think this thing looks super fancy and it honestly makes writing super fun. When you buy this, it doesn't actually come with the ink, so that was something I didn't realize and I had to figure out what ink it used, but I think for like $5 I was able to get like 30 refills or something, and I'm still on the first one. I don't usually write with a pen super often, but sometimes like I'll write something down for a customer or I'll want to jot a note down or something like that. It definitely took a little bit of getting used to as far as learning how to write with that fountain style pen, but once you do, it's super fine point. It looks really smooth. The pen itself looks really cool. If I am writing something for someone and they notice it, I usually get some sort of comment on it, and it's got a lot of weight to it. It feels super high quality, and it was actually pretty cheap. Moving on to the lighter I carry with me. So I use a lighter occasionally. I just like having one. It also kind of has that fidget factor to it. The lighter that I do carry with me every single day is actually this vintage Zippo that I got. I believe it's from like the 70s or the 80s, something like that. I need to look that up for sure. But it's a really cool brass vintage super patina Zippo shell. And then inside of it, I actually put the Zippo torch lighter, which is pretty slick as well. It's like one of the dual torch lighters. So if I'm like smoking a cigar or something, or I need to light a candle or light something in the wind, whatever it may be, this thing's super useful. And it definitely stays full for quite a long time, even if I'm not using it on a regular basis, which I honestly don't use it too often. Now, as for the mask that I carry with me, I've tried a bunch of different masks. The one that I've kind of gone back to more than any is this one from Carhartt. I actually got this at Fred Meyer. I found it on Amazon too for like $5. I believe it's like double-sided if you like this kind of like brown orangish color, or if you want just a straight black. It's like the perfect size for me. It doesn't like pull too hard on my ears, but it's not loose around, and there's not like a bad seal or anything like that. It's not so unbreathable that like I can't wear it all day, but it's not, you know, flimsy or anything else like that. It's just kind of the perfect mask for me. I really like this thing. I'll have a link to everything that I'm talking about down in the description below. Now, as for the last kind of piece of my on body that I do consider part of my everyday carry is the jeans that I'm wearing. Now, the jeans that I wear every single day without an exception are the Naked and Famous 12-ounce raw Japanese Selvedge denim. Jeez, that's a mouthful. And the color is nightshade. That's the other piece too. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Selvedge denim. I'm a huge fan of raw denim. I really like this pair in particular. It's like the most comfortable pair that I've owned, along with, I think it looks the best as well. I got these, I think, in March, and so that's been like a little shy of 3 months. And they're already starting to kind of get that fade to them and kind of patina to like the stuff that I have in my pockets. I really like the way they look. I got these in the weird guy cut, if that matters to any of you guys, but there's a bunch of different cuts they have as well. But yeah, Naked and Famous makes some awesome raw denim. I definitely recommend you check it out. Now, moving on to the next piece, which would be my bag and the backpack that I carry around with me all the time. I guess the theme for this video is I kind of alternate between two different options. It's hard for me to pick one that I really like the most. As far as a leather backpack goes, this is the one that I've been using. It's the Polare full grain leather backpack. Super, super heavy. I really just got it because I really like the way leather looks, if you haven't caught on to that at this point. And you can already see this one is already starting to kind of get a cool look to it and get some good wear to it. Yeah, as far as like an everyday bag though, I did carry this every day for quite a while, and it's super heavy. So if you're going on any sort of extended walk or a trip or something of that nature, I maybe don't recommend it, but the build quality of it is awesome, the look of it is awesome. I do also kind of wish I got the darker color. But I'll have the link to this bag in the back. But yeah, as far as being able to fit all my stuff, really, really solid pocket layout and just kind of the whole general feel. And then on top of that, it smells amazing. But yeah, so that's the first bag that I carry a lot. But then the one that I would say that I carry the most is actually gonna be this guy right here. And this is the Peak Design Everyday Carry Backpack in the 30-liter size. So there's two different options you can get for this, either the 20-liter or the 30-liter. I got the 30-liter with this one. I had owned the 20-liter before. I thought I wanted the bigger one. I got the bigger one. Now I feel like it's just kind of a little too big, so I'm probably gonna sell this one at some point and get the smaller one. This one's in the charcoal color as well. As far as my water bottle, this is just a water bottle I got at work. But it's super nice. It's like a thermal water bottle. It keeps water cold forever. I do have an Airtag here on the outside of it. I also have another one hidden inside the bag, so if somebody steals it and they see the Airtag and they chuck it, they hopefully get lured into a false sense of security so that they don't notice the other one that's hidden in the bag, hopefully allowing me to track it down. My favorite thing about this bag are these side access pockets. So you can kind of zip it from the side, And then it lets you have everything that's in your bag kind of accessible with these like modular compartments. These little, each of these different stands, you can actually adjust and make more dividers within the actual bag itself. But this is kind of the setup that I prefer the most. This bottom pouch right here is also made by Peak Design. This is their tech pouch. I carry exactly what it sounds like in it, all my tech. So I have backup batteries, cords, adapters, dongles, whatever the hell you may need. I have it usually in this bag. This is kind of my like overkill tech related bag. And then this one right here is like a Swiss Victorinox medicine bag. And so in this one I carry like Tylenol, Advil, any sort of like medical thing, like, you know, from flossers to toothbrush to toothpaste to tweezers to, you know, literally every kind of little thing. It's kind of like a first aid kit almost. So that's what I carry in this particular one. Then in this top pocket, I have a Molskin hardcover notebook that I'll use to like jot stuff down. I have this little pouch right here that I usually keep extra masks along with snacks or something like that, whether it's like a power bar or something along the lines of that. If I get hungry when I'm at work or on the go or something like that, I usually keep them inside this little pouch. I have my radio that I use for when I'm at work. And then over here, I have my backup battery, or one of my favorite backup battery because of the size. What's this one made by? Who's this made? Yeah, it's made by Pocket Juice. It has a USB-C fast charging as well, and I have like a cable. Both of them are kind of like enclosed in this little iPod sock. For those of you who don't remember what iPod socks were, they were these kind of cases that they sold way back in the day when iPods were super popping, and they came in this package of like 6 or 7 different colors or something like that. Shout out to my boy Adam, if he's watching this, he knows exactly what iPod socks are. He turned me on to these. But yeah, so I usually keep my backup battery inside that guy. And like these side pockets, you have room for a whole bunch of stuff. I have like, you know, tissues, extra notebooks, microfibers. I have whatever case I'm not using. So at the current moment, this one is the Nomad one, along with the Apple MagSafe leather case in there. If I just want to take a card with me, like, you know, walk into the mall or something like that, I just kind of keep some spare stuff. I've got like a nice flashlight in there too. Let me shove this stuff back in here. Now, on this other side, you get the same view of the same stuff over here. I'm trying to remember what I put in here. Oh yeah, I got sleeves right here. If I'm opening up any packs on the go and I won't get a good card or something like that, I could sleeve them up. And then I have a nice Gerber multi-tool. This one's more of a full-sized one. It's a lot bigger than the Dime that I carry on me on a regular basis. Bigger pliers, bigger knife, bigger tools, stuff like that. So if I need to use anything like that, I usually pull this guy out. I think I also have my towel in there still, you know, as like a third wall of defense, along with like, I think a little Swiss Army knife. Then this top pocket, it pops up like this, and you get access to that top compartment that I was showing you. One really cool feature about this backpack is it has these different rings along the top here. So let's say I throw a hoodie inside here that I was wearing, it got too hot or something like that. It actually lets you just clip it onto this top part. And so your backpack, it does look a lot taller, it looks a lot funnier, but it basically gives you a whole bunch of extra storage ability. So you don't have to like worry about it not being zipped up or something like that. It definitely kind of covers whatever it is that you're trying to lock down in there. Pretty useful. Then this top little zipper pops open. You have a spot for like laptops, you have a spot for tablets, which I'll get to in a moment. And then another little compartment where I carry like, you know, these little organizer stuff. I have like another multi-tool, another pocket knife, business cards, mints, a pen, random stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically the backpack situation. Moving on to the last little bit about some of the gear that I like to carry with me sometimes, but it doesn't quite make the cut every single day. I'm gonna be walking through some of my other favorite stuff. Starting first of all with my iPad, which is what I have my notes here that I'm reading off of. I have the 11-inch iPad Pro, the 2nd generation, and this particular one has 256 gigabytes and is in the silver color. I have the Apple Pencil Generation 2, along with the Smart Folio and the Apple keyboard, or the Magic Keyboard. I kind of alternate between which one of the two that I'm using depending on what it is that my use case is. If I'm at work and I'm walking around scanning barcodes or showing stuff to customers, it doesn't really make sense for me to have the full-blown keyboard with me because it doesn't wrap around all the way. It looks just kind of awkward trying to hold it and show people stuff. Whereas with the Folio, I really like how I can kind of fold it in right here on itself and almost use it as a grip, so that if I'm showing someone something, I can just easily kind of hold it and walk around like so. This has honestly been one of my most used devices though as of late. Huge fan. Now, as far as my computer, I have a 2017 MacBook Pro. This thing is definitely due for an update. It's got barely any storage. It's super slow trying to edit these videos, but I'm really trying to hold out for the new 16-inch MacBook Pro that hopefully is going to be announced here sometime in early June at the WWDC conference. But yeah, this computer served me well, helped me finish college for the most part, but just about time for an upgrade. As far as the mouse that I use with it, this I actually got really recently, but I so far have been loving it so much. It's the Logitech MX Master 3 for the Mac. This one I have it paired with my iPad, I have it paired with my computer. It lets you easily switch between the two. Really ergonomical, has a whole bunch of cool functionality to it. I wasn't really a mouse person for the longest time, but since I started making these videos again, editing in Final Cut using a trackpad just genuinely really sucks. So I needed a mouse for it, and I figured I'd get one that was, highly recommended and will probably last me for the long run. So I decided to go with the MX Master 3, and so far no regrets. Now, as far as my headphones, I'm going to botch this name royally. I use the Sony WH-1000XM series. I use the Sony WH-1000XM4s. That's what these are. These things sound incredible. Best pair of headphones I've ever owned. They are pretty pricey, but as far as noise cancellation goes, it is wild how good they are. Significantly better than anything else I've tried. Very comfortable. Lots of cool functionality to it. They come with this really cool little portable case that I'm a big fan of. Overall, love these things, highly recommend them. Then as far as the camera I use, if I'm not shooting on my iPhone, it'll be the Sony A5100 mirrorless camera. This thing, it's okay. It's pretty good for the price. I think there's definitely some better options nowadays for the same exact price. I really would like to upgrade my camera at some point, get a nice 4K camera, get a better lens, get just like a better setup all around. As far as my entry level into like mirrorless cameras and just, interchangeable lens cameras, this thing served its purpose, and I do use it for some of these videos. I'll probably use it for some of the B-roll that you're seeing. But yeah, I really do like this thing. It's super portable. Not a bad choice. Another thing I use quite often is actually the Theragun Mini. This is kind of the entry-level Theragun. Super useful if you're sore after like a long workout or a run or something like that. Love this thing. And then the final thing that I bring with me fairly often, it just kind of depends on where I'm going, is my Nintendo Switch. I've been using this thing forever now. I've got a colorware skin on it that I think looks really dope. And then when I am playing it for extended periods of time, I put it in this Moomba grip case. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, these two things together, looks pretty dope, gets a lot of use, big fan. But yeah, overall that kind of touches everything that I carry with me on a regular basis or on some occasions. That's kind of the whole rundown on my gear. Pretty sure this is going to be one of my longer videos I've ever made because I kind of went through a lot of different stuff. But I really enjoy watching these videos myself, so hopefully you guys find some cool new gear that you maybe didn't have in the past. I will leave a link to everything that I discussed down in the description below. Might take me a while to find it, and if the particular item isn't sold anymore, I'll find a pretty comparable item and I'll put that link down below. But yeah, that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Maybe let me know what your favorite piece of gear was, or if you found anything that you maybe hadn't seen before. Subscribe to the channel and tune in next Thursday for a brand new video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.